time no see. I know, dude, I know. It's been like a month or two, huh? What's up, guys? Got a GTO here. I've been busy. Okay, look, I don't want to hear it. All right, I've been busy. All right. Anyway, yeah, no excuses, whatever. GTO. So, hey, why are we making a video on this one today? It's an E40 PCM, or ECM, if you want to do that. A little different than your typical LS stuff. They have some different parameters in there. They tune like a Gen 4, but like it doesn't have VVE. It just has a regular VE table, but it's kind of backwards. So I'm going to show you guys how to like make your own graph for it, because you'll probably buy somebody's, like mine, Gen 4 setup and be like, well, what the hell, I can't do my GTO like this. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So this one is a 05 automatic, got a 3200 stall in it, 404 cubic inches of LS2 power, TrickFlow 225 heads and some big ass cam. The car on my tune, yes, I've kind of tuned this a little bit. It went 1160s, I believe, at like 119. I'll post up a time slipper here. The previous tune on it, the guy was fighting it for about a year with some remote tuner. It wouldn't get out of the 12s. I think my first flash on it went like 1170s. So it's not even remotely done. I think we were running a little lean on this thing. So we have a wideband on it, but I think that damn sensor is going bad or something. But I'm gonna double check it because I was looking at the logs, and I'll show you on this video too. The wideband, it was reading it looked like it was reading properly, but the cylinder air mass is really low. That's not typical with this. So like a typical LS, your cylinder air mass is gonna be, at wide open throttle between like 0.60 and 0.8, somewhere around there. That's gonna be your cylinder air mass at wide open throttle. If it's not there, you don't have enough fuel or something that's going on with it, or if you have way above that, and I'm talking about a cathedral port head, not like a rec port. Rec port's gonna be a little higher, probably in the 9s or so, 0.9, 0.8, somewhere around there. If you have it lower, you're gonna notice like it's lean, or something's clogged up or something going on somewhere that you need to figure out. So what we're gonna do today is figure out what the hell's going on with this one. So I told them to drop it off with me today. It's a beautiful day here in December. We got a couple days to Christmas. Whew, 4. Merry Christmas, guys. Yeah, we're gonna figure out what the hell's going on with it. I'm gonna throw it in speed density. I got it dialed on the VE table. It wasn't even touched really. The guy had the Maf only, had a screwed up timing table in it that I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Just a bunch of crazy stuff. Later on, not in this video, probably after the holidays, we're gonna throw this thing on the dyno. We're gonna see what kind of RPM it likes, and I'm gonna see what kind of timing it really likes, and all that stuff, you know, just a controlled environment. The car should put down upper 400s, lower 500s to the wheels. If it doesn't, there's something going on with it. So hang tight, let me get all set up here, and let's see what we can find. So what's funny too is this is probably the second or third silver GTO I've done this week. Yeah, I've posted a couple of them. People are, hey, is that the same GTO? No, it's different. So I'm gonna pull up his tune file here. Give me a second. I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna compare it with what I found, I guess. I'm gonna show you what I found and what is just messed up with it and stuff. So let me try to do a screen recording with it. The screen recording software I have only limits me to like 5 minutes, so let me see if I can get this set up and screen record for you guys. What I have pulled up right now is my tune, and what the comparison file is what he was messing with. It didn't have a lot of startup airflow, but I think I'm going to alleviate a lot of this once I get that VE dialed in and stuff. Like I said, I think this VE is like really, it's way off right now. You can tell I literally only got it like just lowered the idle a little bit. I have not touched this VE table at all. The guy had it in Maf only.
I don't know why you would do that, but I changed a lot of stuff back to stock too. Like I don't mess with a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be messed with, like adaptive idle airflow and stuff. He was messing with a lot of this stuff. I don't mess with any of this shit. Don't mess with it. You don't really need to mess with it. Spark, I added quite a bit of spark to it. I did not want to idle. I completely changed his spark table. Oh man, look at this. It's got some spark in it now. This is what was in it. It's terrible. That's what's in it now. It's not the greatest, but hey, it went faster. So this is your wide open throttle stuff right here. This is all. Don't worry about that. We're gonna get that smoothed out. So if you want to be a stickler about it, look, we can just do it like this. Oh man, look at that. Look how smooth that is now. That's not even gonna matter probably. Anyway, he had them matched like that. Like I said, that's a lot of timing for just a tip in. It just didn't make any sense to make the map look like this. This is absolutely trash. I'm not tooting my own horn or anything, but this is way better. It still has some work to do. We need to put it on the dyno and see what the hell it can do, and then we need to mess with all this over here. Adaptive idle, he had it cranked up. I turned it down. Cranking, I need to turn this down. I was fighting it not starting, and I couldn't figure out why, and I finally figured out it was the cranking VE was at like 70. I tried it at 100 and it made it worse, so I knocked it down to 65 and it actually fired right up. So we're gonna leave that alone, but for now we are going to put this thing in speed density. So to do that, we just need to fail the math like this. Boom, boom. Go down here to your mass air meter, put these all on mil on first air like so. Cool. Change your dynamic airflow to 8,000 and 7,999. That's fine, whatever. And then we're going to go ahead and turn off, if I don't have it already turned off, deceleration fuel cutoff. It's already turned off. Make sure your temperature control, catalyst protection is turned off as well. Kind of want to have this turned up too. We're going to put it at 90. I don't want to turn it completely off, but I don't want it to go in power enrichment. I'm not gonna go flogging on it and speed density, but I don't want it to hit power enrichment. He also had the long-term fuel trims turned down. I put them at like 131. I don't like that stuff. Cranking fuel, I turned it up just a little bit. Again, I was fighting a starting issue, couldn't figure it out. He messed with a bunch of injector timing and stuff. I don't think he even knew what the hell he was doing, because just look at the timing table. That's all I can. Yeah, I don't think he knew what he was doing. So didn't really touch anything on torque management. I just maxed this out right here for available torque. Yeah, nothing crazy. It just didn't run really that good at the track. You can tell I started making, he didn't have timing pulling till like 131. I started at 113. So, I mean, we're just gonna have to figure out what the hell is going on with the car. Knock retard, I left it alone. So let's go in here and put it in speed density. I also turned the idle down too. Anyway, put it in speed density and let's go from there. All right, so now we need to set up our histogram. Make sure you have the correct channels logging. So in this one, I loaded up my Gen 4 one. Plus, we have an AEM wideband that's running through the OBD port. You can search for the wideband like this. It ended up being this one. It wasn't this one. So you might have to go down this list and see which one works for you. So this one works on this vehicle right here. And I have it reading in Lambda. So we're good from here. So we're going to connect to the car. It's reading 2. The car's not running or anything. So we got stuff that's working. Throttle's working. Cool beans. All right. So we're going to stop this right here. I'm going to show you how to set up a histogram real quick. So go over here, right click, and then I'm just going to copy over, I don't know, just this one right here. We're going to just double this one. So we're going to work with this one. Let's see. We're going to go down here to our tune again. Airflow, general, primary VE. So go down here, column access copy, column access paste. So now you notice the column access is not the engine speed, they're backwards. So we need to change this to map. Intake pressure sensor, yes. And then we need to change this one to RPM. So go here, and this is going to be the row one. Copy labels. Go down here, row. I'm going to do this one RPM. Engine RPM, yes, sounds good. Hell yeah, it does. And then that sounds good right there. I'm just gonna label this one VEGTO. It doesn't really matter what the hell you label it, just as long as you know what the hell it is. You can go ahead and save it if you want. I will just name it something, GTO layout. Now, I know I can still record all this stuff. These are not gonna matter right now at all. The Maf error, on that one, we're gonna do an upper and a lower. So same thing. Come over here and then column access, copy, go over here, Maf error, and then paste it. You can do that. So we're gonna copy it like that. We're gonna move it up though. Gonna be Maf error high on this one because we're gonna do a high one. Go over here to the high, do the same thing. Copy access, labels, blah, blah, blah. Come over here, boom, paste, done. And then there you go. The wideband one, we can do this right here. So the wideband, let's see, wideband, I can't remember which one it was now. Probably just this one, I bet you. You have to play with it. So now we should be able to get our stuff here. So we got Maf error high, okay. EQ, is it working? No, we need to play with this one, so not a big deal. The VE should work. I'm gonna go ahead and start the car. Still need to work on that startup. It is garbage. Oh, it is working. Okay, here we go. EQ1. It's just matching the VBE or the VE table. So to match that one, come back over here to the graphs layout again. Just copy these over like this. If you want to do the, you want to copy your VE like that. So map, boom, sounds good. RPM, sounds good. Come back over here, copy this again, copy, paste, boom. Now we got EQ, and we got the stock O2 sensor. Look at that, that's awesome right there, isn't it? I was going to show you this too. I didn't mean to leave it on long-term fuel trims. I want to do LT plus, I want to do both of them. So there's a, where is it at? ST. There's a math all the way at the bottom right here. Yeah, I want to do this one right here. I want to do both of them. Come on now. Put it in caps because we mean business. Change that to 2 decimals right there. Boom, there we go. So we got it running on both of them now. So, like I said, I had the idle done pretty good. I literally tuned this thing at the track because he asked me to, and we just started messing with it at the track. The only thing we done was wide open throttle, and I got it to idle pretty good, and that was about it. I didn't even go drive this. I've never driven this car. So, let's go dial this thing in now. Alright, a couple things I did off camera real quick, just because I have limited time with this stupid screen recording program. I didn't want to keep on trying to check it and everything. I changed, so these are all going to be the stock O2 sensor readings right here. These are going to be the wideband ones right here. So I had the wideband for the high and the low, and then I changed the colors over. So I do everything in lambda. So I have it reading in lambda. I changed the high value, mid value, and low value to lambda. And then you can see on the stock O2 sensors, I have it different. This one I want to rename it. I'm going to do wideband VE. Boom. I changed the spark advance too. So every vehicle you touch, you need to make sure that the row and column access matches what you're logging, because I mean it'll start logging, but the cells are not going to be right. So you need to make sure all that shit's right. I've been idling here for about 10 minutes. I think this is pretty good at idle. It's not bad. I'm probably not going to touch that, but yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to just touch base with that. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I do have a love-hate relationship with these cars. I do like them. Sometimes they're just a pain in the ass. So I forgot this thing has a Nick Williams 103 on it. It does require you to mess with the ETC scaling. So on a Nick Williams 103,
changed the scaling to, I think I got a 7200 or whatever. I can't remember what the stock one was, but a 7200. I had to do some research and stuff and see what that actually meant. So it's in like square millimeters or shit. I don't know. I'm just doing what the internet told me to do. So it seems to be idling better. If you don't, it's going to idle high, and you're not going to reach your target idle. It's just going to be always high. So how to test that? Damn, this thing shifts hard as hell. It's probably because I have it in speed density. There was no, like, it's probably at full pressure, which is fine. I'm just going to take it easy. Where was I at? Oh, yeah. So if you're in the scanner and you open up the controls, vehicle special controls and conditions, or whatever the hell it is, you can turn off your spark idle correction. And if it just raises up, you really need to adjust your ETC scaling or airflow, or something's going on. So you need to mess with it. So that's how I figured that stuff out. You want it to idle pretty good without spark correction, but you want spark correction to do a majority of your correction. You don't want it to sit there and fluctuate the throttle body. You want it to actually just idle properly, even without a lot of correction. So that's kind of the way to do it. So we're gonna go dial in this VE table. Looks pretty close. It doesn't look too bad. A little lean in some spots. I'll show you guys what I find. And then just rinse and repeat like everything else.
All right, got a little short log here. Nothing crazy. The transmission's shifting pretty damn hard, and I think it's because the Maf has failed. But there's not a full this might be it actually right here. I'm gonna do that because it's slamming in the gear. I don't really like doing that. On the on some of the other ones, it'll say like full pressure when Maf has failed or some shit. So just do that. Let's see, torque management. I'm just gonna disable all this. I'm gonna try it again. But anyway, I got a little short log. I was gonna turn it back to Maf and then just kind of guess on this, but it's not really the right way to do it. But you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Knock this down by 20% right here. It's pretty high. So I've got to get a little graph going right here. Smooth that out. Looking pretty damn good. Not bad. It'll get better and better as we go. We're gonna flash that and go from there again. This car's got some communication issue. You gotta like write it a couple of times, and like it'll say like failed. I'll show you real quick. Good old GTO chime. Yeah, it doesn't look like it was running bad or anything. No knock or anything. And the wideband was reading, so we're good. Yeah, right here. You gotta do right a couple times. I don't know. It'll eventually flash, but fun stuff.
So it's got. I got the VE dialed in. Oh yeah, that fixed it. It has to have some kind of hidden parameters in HP tuners to where I'm not seeing like a maximum line pressure with speed density. So I don't know. It's an OS thing. Whatever. I got the Maf only right now, so I'm gonna dial in that. Should be pretty damn close on the VE table. I hate when it does that. When you fail a Maf, sometimes like it'll just max out the line pressure, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like I hate that so much. So I got it dialing as best as I could. I just took it on the highway and left it in fourth, just various RPMs of loads. Yeah, I hate when it shifts and it just slams in the gear. It is not good for the transmission at all. So we got it in Maf only mode right now, and it shifts a lot better now. So we're gonna dial it in, go for a pretty long drive with this, and just dial her in. Seems like it's pretty solid. Converter lockup's a little hard. I'm gonna soften that up a little bit. Other than that, it seems like it's fairly light on its feet. The converter's tight, and the customer knows that too. I personally would probably put a 3800 to 4000 stall in this thing. This thing has a pretty hefty cam in it. It's got like a 32 or 3500 right now in it, but it's just too tight. If this was a 4.8 liter, it would be perfect, but this is a 6 liter or 404 cubic inches, so I don't know, whatever the hell it is, 6 point something liter. It is it needs a looser converter, definitely. It would drastically improve the 60 foot on this. I think the best he's got was a 1.8. So it'll do a 1.6 with a way better converter. So we're gonna just go drive it, dial it in as it is, and then hopefully he gets another converter and this thing will run a low 11. That'd be awesome. Man, it's going pretty damn good. I got some spots are in 3%, some of them are like 0.5%. So that's splitting hairs to me. I'll probably improve the little 3% ones, call it good. I'm gonna go make a little hit with it real quick, and I'm gonna watch this AFR. I'm not sure if this sensor is messed up or not. Like, it's kind of going all over the place. But if I think it is, I got one at the house, and it's the same model. I'm just gonna put the sensor in it and call it good. So we're trying to do a little second gear hit with it. This Honda would get out of the way. It went rich. Like, I was just watching it, and it was kind of eyeballing it like that. It went rich, lean, and then rich. I'm gonna look at the log, and I'm gonna see what that cylinder air mass is. A lot of you can kind of determine if you're really rich or lean. And I'm not saying that like a wideband is not usable. You need to use a wideband, period. You can kind of look at your cylinder air mass and see how much airflow this thing is running. Plus, you can look at your Maf sensor, your Maf sensor settings or output. You can look at that and kind of determine how much airflow this thing's got, you know, all that jazz. Last log I looked at, this thing was at like a 0.5 cylinder air mass. So I'm gonna pull over up here and see what the hell that one looked like right there. But I'm gonna go pull over up here and let's have a gander at this log. Now, this is what I mean. So we're looking at this log right now. Went wide open throttle right here. Injector duty cycle's pretty low. The MAF reading's pretty low. And then our cylinder air mass is 0.58. But our wideband's reading 7.4, 7.6, 7.2. I mean, that's rich. But none of this equals rich to me. I think the sensor's messed up. I would bet money on it, but I'd probably lose. But I mean, I still think it's lean. I know the voltages, like you can look at voltages too, and all those old school guys are like, yeah, if it's in the 9s right here, it's fine. No. I mean, it's an okay determination. Because if it's reading like 0.0 or 0.1, that's lean as hell. Like, it will do that. Now, in the 0.9s, I've seen the wideband readings read, let's see, here's our wideband right here. I need to add it right here too. But I've seen it equal 10s to 13s. So, yeah. You can kind of go off of this, but again, it's always good to data log this stuff and kind of see where the hell you're at. Again, this is really low for a 404 cubic inch engine, and it's kind of going wonky. I don't know what is going on with this thing. I mean, you can just see it. I'm gonna add some fuel to it. I'm gonna see if it gets slower. That's exactly what I'm gonna do to it. I'm gonna add a little fuel to it, because again, I don't believe the cylinder air mass is that right there. I don't believe that at all. This thing should be in this area right here as far as airflow goes. So another thing too, if you add fuel, this number is going to go up. So it needs to be perfect, but in a perfect world, I think this thing is going to be right around this area right here. So the 0.76 to 0.80. That's what I'm thinking. Even though it's a cathedral port headed, LS2, it's got 225 heads on it, so it's got to be around here, or at least the 68, just in my experience. Now, I'm not just gonna add fuel to this thing and just call it good. Not doing that. I'm just miles away from my house right now. I know, yes, thank you, but I'm going to do this, go make another little hit with it. And then I'm really headed back to the house and swapping this sensor out and just double checking it. That's all I'm gonna do. because I've got a couple of wide bands at the house, but I really don't trust it. Like it just, and he doesn't remember how old it is and whatnot. So I think it's lean still. So when you get too rich with them, it'll fall on its face. Like you'll feel it fall, and it didn't feel like it fell on its face right there. So another thing to do is check the plugs, but you need to literally have, I'd probably just do one on this one. I wouldn't do the entire damn set. Have a fresh plug in there, make a hit, shut it down, and then check it like that. You can do that. That's the old school way of doing it. But got her firing up good, man. All right, let's go make a hit with this thing. Enough yapping. Put her down in second here. That wideband's wrong. I'm telling you. That thing scooted right there. That scooted pretty good. Yeah, man, that wideband's wrong. I'm telling you. I'm gonna go swap it out. I'm gonna go swap out the sensor. Yeah, because I'm just looking at the peak number right there. It was over 400 pounds a minute. So that's where it should be. I know this thing ain't rich. So let's go look at it. I'm gonna swap the sensor out, and I guarantee you that sensor's bad. Oh yeah, she's fouled as hell. I got mine in there right now. But, oh my God. That's a bad one right there. Focus. What are you doing? Yeah, that's a bad one right there. I would not trust that. Cross your fingers. Roll into it. And it wants to downshift. 0.88. And it kind of richen up to a 0.85. Sensor. That was like right on the money too. Shit. So those of you who aren't Lambda guys, it's like a 12.8 air fuel, 13.0-ish. Kind of depends. We're gonna go look at this log real quick. That was pretty spot on. And I haven't changed anything either from that last pull that I did. When I said it was like a 9-something air fuel, like there's no way in God's green earth it was that. So let's go look at this wideband, or let's go look at this log real quick. I think it wants more RPM too, because that was like a 6,800, 7,000 RPM shift point. I'd love to throw this thing on the dyno just to see what kind of RPM it really does want. It's got a forged bottom end and stuff, so it'll handle it. So let's go look at this log real quick and see what she did. All right, there's that pull right here. I tried to roll into it, but it downshifted. I think I was in third. It downshifted to second. Okay, I thought I was in second. So I was trying to roll into it and it just wanted to go to second, so I let it do it. And then we're at a 60 on the cylinder air mass. That wideband is dead nuts on. Look at that. Look how smooth it is now. Got a little rich up top right there, which ain't too shabby. I'd probably call that just a discrepancy, but that's where we want all this at. We want it in the 6s. So if that's what it wants, that's what it wants. I trust that wideband. It ain't getting any knock. It could probably use a couple more degrees of timing. I'd say probably 2 at the most. Call that good. I'm gonna throw this thing back in blended. As you can see, the guy did not have it in blended, so yes, this guy's name is Joel Stockton. I know he watches. Boom, turn it back on. We're gonna do Defco. We're gonna enable that at 100. Doesn't really matter. Let's see here. Rev limiter's at 7,300. I bet you this thing will go, let's see, where's it shifting at? 6,900. I bet you it'll do 7,100. 71, yeah. Let's do 7,100 RPM. We'll do that, and then we're gonna bump up the rev limiter just a hair. I bet you it's safe right there. Let's copy all those over. And now, when you do this stuff, you don't really have to like change your full throttle speed. You can if you want, but like, it looks for the speed first, and then it looks for the RPM. As long as they're not like way off, like it's fine. You're not gonna hurt anything with that. And we're gonna bump this rev limiter up too, just a hair. We're gonna go 200 RPM up on this one. And then I'll leave that alone because I didn't have anything right there. We're going to leave the park neutral one, in gear one. We're going to leave all that shit alone. I don't think he really needs to rev it at 7,500 RPM neutral, but
In gear, 7,500. We're good on that. And then we're going to return this back. That's kind of a lot right there, isn't it? Let's go like 60 and then 25. And then how about we interpolate this right here? Boom, we got some numbers. Look at that. Do it like that. So we're commanding the 135. So that's like a 13.0, 12.9 air fuel, somewhere in there. And let's just flash it, and we're going to call this one good. So I hope you learned something. It's always something different with me. It's always something different when you tune vehicles. It's always going to be like that. Sometimes you get some easy ones. Sometimes you're going to get something like this that are like, what the hell? Like, something's not making sense. Well, you got to run across that issue to learn things. In my case, you do. And sometimes you'll spend a couple days on it. It's just how it is. This one, I kind of knew something was up when I was looking at the log and I saw that wideband just going ape shit like that. I checked everything out on the hood and stuff. It was fine, but you just got to learn to look for certain things like that. You got to look, like I said, cylinder air mass, your narrow band voltage, things like that. Like that, all that stuff can really help you out. The MAF, etc. You know, you gotta look for those things. You know, just because it's lean doesn't mean it's gonna pick up knock retard either. It did at the track. So the first pull we did, I know it was super lean because I literally added probably a solid 25% fuel up top from that initial tune. And that first pull, I think he did like a 1170 or something like that. So I guarantee he gained 2/10 in a couple miles an hour. He had to have, because this thing pulls night and day difference between those two. I'm not going to go pull with the 7,100 RPM one. I think it's good. I really do. I think it's going to be fine because it was making power all the way to red line. So shift point wise, you want to go over your peak power and then drop down because you'll be closer to that peak power when you shift that gear. So you don't want to go way over. You want to go, I mean, this is kind of a science to it, kind of a feel thing, you know. I would let's go dyno it, you know, things like that. So I'm gonna leave it at 7,100. I think it's all right like that. It seems to like it. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. You make sure you like and subscribe, and you do all that YouTuber stuff. You can complain in the comments and all that stuff. Do whatever you want to do. I'll catch you guys on the next one.